are now listening to Serious Minds RN TV with your host, Professor Griff. The call-in number is 516-654-7688. That's 516-654-7688. This is Professor Griff, and this is Serious Minds RN TV. Serious Minds for Serious Minds. Seriously.
Alright, peace. Greetings, fam. Greetings to everyone. Alright, this is Professor Griff, y'all already know, and this is Serious Minds RNT. And let me see who's in. Alright, so tonight's subject we're going to be talking about from the hood to the farm. We're going to talk about our commitment to both. Alright, from hood to farm, our commitment to both. Shout out to Quan. Peace. What's good? Shout out to the Serious Minds family. Peace, Quan. What's good with you? All right. I'll be coming up in a few minutes to get back to this subject. We got two special guests coming on to talk about these two particular situations. All right. The farm and what's going on the farm and what's going on in the hood. All right. It's very rare that I have guests on. So these two individuals, I would definitely like to have a serious conversation with them. Up first, my good brother, Mr. Ross Kofi's coming on, and I'm gonna wait for him to come on so we can kind of dive into this subject. But in the meantime, between time, check this out, and I will be right back.
Do your children love learning? At the Institute for Self-Mastery, we've been homeschooling for 10 years. We didn't just hop on this because of what's going on now. Check us out, the Institute for Self-Mastery, ismhomeschool.org. Peace.
Serious Minds Brain Tonic was created to sharpen the mind by protecting cells and increasing neurotransmitters associated with learning and memory. This is the Serious Minds Brain Tonic. The Resurrection Formula. This male reproductive tonic elixir is the resurrection you've been looking for. It is a stimulating sexual tonic with mild androgen-like effects that is nourishing to the reproductive system. You can order them at www.professorgriff.me and www.seriousmindsinstitute.com. Just call 678-557-2919. Your health is your wealth. Peace. Greetings, this is Professor Griff, and I want to present to you my custom-made AR-15 30-round mags. Right now, you can get these 4 custom 30-round AR-15 mags. Just call 678-557-2919. or go on my website, www.professorgriff.me. Are yours truly, the Minister of Information, Professor Griff. Because serious minds are for serious minds that attract serious minds with serious arms. Seriously.
All right. All right, family. This is Professor Grip. I'm black at you. All right. Waiting on my guest to come through, Mr. Ross Kofi himself. All right. In the meantime, between time, if you're in the Atlanta area, all right, a couple of things. If you're in the Atlanta area, please make sure you go by Greenbrier Mall and check out Nia at the Madu Bookstore. All right. At Greenbrier Mall in the ATL. All right, but if you're right here on YouTube, and you should be, please make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, share, fam, and do not forget to hit the bell so you can be notified instantly when we come on. It was an interesting day yesterday. I kind of missed coming to the microphone, but very interesting. Yeah, we scouted out and visited a very interesting place in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, where we are planning to do a celebrity, somebody said a celebrity shootout. No, a celebrity shooters challenge, challenging celebrities to get their shooting game up. All right. And what we plan on doing is having some classes, having different events that's going to center around shooting. Beautiful location in Myrtle Beach, have over 12 bays to shoot from. Long rifles, pardon me, shotguns, pistols, AR-15s, 300 black, whatever you want to shoot. They have a lane and a bay for you. All right. So this is coming in the summer, so make sure y'all stay tuned. The Celebrity Shooters Challenge. All right. We're doing a couple of things here in the ATL as well that you can participate in. So hopefully something like that, you'd want to get out, take advantage of what the beach has to offer, take advantage of, being together in the outdoor space where we can breathe. All right. Of course, we're also going to have some vending situations popping off, so please stay in touch with me. All right. Now, if you would like to support independent black media, you can do so by scrolling down and hit the $, the super chat, until you can support independent black media. I would encourage you to do so by starting here right now. If you can't do that, you can hit me on the Cash App at $ Professor Griff. All right. Help with the cause. All right. In the meantime, between time, if you would like to advertise your event right here, your business, your event, whatever it is, right here on Serious Minds RN TV, please text me at 678-557-2919, family. Please text me. All right, let's add my brother to the screen so we can get this conversation started. Mr. Ross Kofi, sir, do you hear me? Mr. Ross Kofi.
Let me get this.
I can hear you, but come on, talk.
I can't hear you, Professor. I see your lips moving, but I turned it. There we go. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. You good?
One love, King. Respect. How's
Peace,
everything?
man. King, you all right?
I'm giving thanks for life. Good to see you.
Okay, we're on a little late. We got to the 9:30 hour because I got another guest coming on. But let's dive right into this thing. Is that cool?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. So, just from the outstart, the whole idea of farming, I know it's old to us if you and I have a conversation, but what about the brothers and sisters that are on here that's not? I'm just starting off with the farm. Not, you understand what I'm saying? But right before I get, really the farm is the second thing. First thing is just give them an overview of who you are. Who is Ross Kofi? What do you do? and let's kind of take it from there. Then we'll break off into the farm thing. All right.
Okay. Well, the condensed version, for the sake of time, Ras Kofi is a son of the soil, and that's just not a metaphorical thing, a poetic thing. My mother is from South Georgia, Chaiko Kwayana. She's an ancestor now who
Mm.
ended up teaching on 3 continents, on the continent of Africa, in South America and Guyana, where she met my father, and as well here in many different parts of this on this Turtle Island. My Baba is from Guyana, South America, a revolutionary teacher and freedom fighter.
Mhm.
So that's my roots. And in terms of agriculture, at the age of 2, I was helping my mother in the garden. We all had garden plots, me and my siblings in Guyana. When my mother moved there in the late 60s, she was doing some research on Africans who had prevailed. And man, Willie Kosasili, who you may know, I think he transitioned. He's the man who gave the last poets their name.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Willie Kosasili. My mother was house sitting for Professor Leonard Jeffries and everything. And she was the liaison at City College when that whole takeover went.
Right.
And so there was a long history there. But she was there with them in a meeting, and she was looking for people on the South American continent, Africans who prevailed, went through Central America. Long story short, she was told by somebody at the Guyanese embassy that there were no Africans that prevailed.
Mm.
And Kosasili told her about my Baba. They met. She went for an interview. He said, "No, you stay in here." And Ras Kofi is born 2 years later. But very, very early age, agriculture was a big part of the backdrop. And you can imagine living in a yard where, in Georgia, the landscape would be, you got a bunch of pine trees, maybe some oak trees and a maple tree. I had 3 mango trees, guava trees, all kind of cherry trees. I was doing composting 35 years before I knew of the concept and all this kind of stuff, or putting peanut shells and eggshells and even urine in a pile, all of that. So fast forward we came over here in political exile. My uncle is a man named Walter Rodney, a historian, African historian.
Don't you say a man named Walter Rodney? We know Walter Rodney, bro.
I know you.
Revolution.
I know you.
Okay.
You say you're talking to the people, right? So I just wanted to.
Right.
Yeah,
All right.
Historian. My Baba was involved as well in this from the anti-colonial movement. He was one of the 3 people who helped to bring down the British government in the 50s. So in the 70s, there was a culmination of a movement against a dictatorship after independence, which I know you speak about it a lot, the flag independence and everything
Right.
that happened in the post-colonial Caribbean and Africa, where it was just flag independence, but these leaders who were trained in Westminster Abbey came back as the new white man, right? So this was the reality in Guyana as well. That's the reality that assassinated my uncle Walter in June 13, 1980. So we had to go into political exile. My mother was brutally beat by the police, and it was just a matter of her coming back here for some medical treatment, and then the decision was made for us to stay here.
Right.
So during all that time,
let me ask you something. So they blew him up in a car. Am I correct?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I remember.
Yeah. CIA in cahoots with the Burnham dictatorship. So then when we came over here, the landscape changed. As you know, it was all about school. It wasn't really about farming. We eventually moved to Southern California, and me as a young man going out there, mid '80s, I'm trying to get into the street culture, gang banging and all that kind of stuff. I wasn't in, and then it's girls and everything else, what young teenagers do. So agriculture didn't really have a big part in the front of my mind. However, I'm just fast forwarding the story. When I became a father after college, I came back to the South. My mother had a real rough time with me, but I was able to get through high school, and we come back to the South because our roots are here, and I was able to go to Payne College in Augusta. And when I came out to Atlanta in 1994, and when I became a father, it all kicked right back in, like almost like what some people would call magic. All that my mother had implanted in me, it kicked right back in, because now I have this young person looking at me talking about what's up.
Right.
And that's just how it is ain't a suitable answer anymore, you know. Because at
Right.
this time I'm already, you know, shout out to you yourself, Professor. I'm studying Professor Griff and Public Enemy and KRS, and you know that was our Jerusalem schoolroom, right? The
Right.
golden
Okay.
age of hip hop, right? So this, you know, Imam Isa before he was Dr. York and all this.
Right. Right.
This
Right.
is where we getting our teachings from. So
Mhm.
just the knowledge of self and the imperative of giving a clear word to the babies instead of that's just how it goes and spookism that just kicked in. So
Right.
how it took shape for me is in agriculture. We're right there in the West End, right across from Imam Jamil's mosque,
Right.
right across from the basketball court. I'm sure you've seen that house many
Mhm.
times. We used to have the
Yeah.
red, black, and green flag flying.
Right.
And so we had a garden. We actually had to have a family meeting because the family wanted to have a lawn. And I was like, well, we can't eat grass. So we came to a compromise where half of it became a garden and half of it was the lawn, you know? So
Right.
that's where it just really took shape in a whole nother way for me. And then since then, it's just been, you know, it's just been on and popping. But it really, I say all of that to say because, as you well know, we are the sum total of our ancestors' DNA.
Right.
So
Right. Right.
it wasn't nothing that I had to go out and study, even though I've done a lot of deliberate study because the knowledge is all expansive. It
Right.
was more something that I had to move the distraction out of the way and let my nature shine. And I wanted to say that to our family that that's our nature. The other thing
Right.
about agriculture is that, and we just had a conversation about this actually at our level up session tonight. You know, there's a lot of shame and trauma associated with agriculture in the minds of African people.
Mhm.
Why is that? Because when we talk about the Maafa, when we talk about the period of captivity, the image is not of this whip. The image is usually of Africans working the land, right? And that's subliminal. Leah Penniman wrote a great book called Farming While Black that I would definitely highly encourage everyone to read. A sister named
Mhm.
Leah Penniman. She has a farm called Soul Fire Farm in upstate New York. But in a nutshell, she said the land was the scene of the crime, but the land was not the criminal.
Mm. Okay.
You know, the land was the scene of the crime, but the land was not the criminal. The
Right.
land, the earth has always been our mother and our nurturer. It was our connection to the earth that made these crackers bring us over here in the first place because of our
Right.
masterful connection to the land. But
Mm.
for somehow, because of the trauma we experienced, we separated the baby, we threw away the baby and the bathwater, many of us. And
Right.
so the new aspiration became to buy a piece of the sky and all this kind of stuff instead of what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad told us: get the good play, get you the good part of this earth,
Right.
right? That's always been the power, and that's always been the
Right.
power. So this is all we're doing. We're just living out our ancestral work, and it's nothing. I mean, it's spiritual and all that, but it's very tangible.
Right.
You know, this is what feeds us. And we know about the lack of nutrition. Since the 1930s, the Turtle Island, the American continent, if you will, has been severely depleted in terms of the land because of the industrial age, right? So we're not only doing farming in terms of just growing some potatoes and tomatoes to look cute and post on Facebook. We're following the prescription of Dr. George Washington Carver. You know, there was a story that I'm sure you're familiar of. One day, Dr. Carver was having a conversation with Booker T. Washington, and Booker T. Washington had brought him down to Tuskegee. You know, it was a really profound letter that he wrote to him. I don't remember it verbatim, but he was saying, you know, fame and fortune I can't offer you. I'm just offering you hard work and the opportunity to lift up a people. I mean, I'm
Mm.
getting goosebumps just even thinking about it, you know.
Right.
And
Right.
Dr.
Right.
Carver, he accepted the invitation, man. And
Wow.
he came down, and Tuskegee is said to be some of the richest land on the earth outside of the Nile Valley. That's just as
Mm.
an aside for people to do their research. But they were having a conversation one day, and Booker T. Washington was asking him for advice to give the farmers in that region to make their crops more fertile, to
Right.
increase their yield. And it's important to note that this conversation had to be had because this is in the backdrop of a capitalist, greedy economy, a monoculture, right?
Right.
Cotton was king. So they weren't thinking about loving Mama Earth like me and you talking now. They're talking about how can we get more production. Long story short, Dr. Carver said, rotate the crops. And I can imagine, Booker T. Washington told him something like, man, you're going to get us all killed. And that's when Dr.
Because
Carver made that.
we know Booker T. Washington's mindset at that
Right.
time. Yeah.
Right. And then, so long story short was Dr. Carver, that's when he made that famous utterance that, all my adult life, I've risen up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I go out into the woods and I let God talk to me, and God teaches me the nature of the plant. So there it is. And his advice saved the economy of the South, whether meant to do it or not, and this is the heritage that we move
But
on.
They said that Dr. Carter used to talk to the plants, and the plants used to speak back.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah.
Yes, sir. Real talk. So, I mean, in a nutshell, I hope that answers your question.
Yes. And along with 5 different history lessons you gave us, which is beautiful. So let me ask you. So the whole idea of using the earth now to produce the same crop of weed that our brothers used to sell that are locked up now. Now the government is selling weed. Brothers still locked up. Same earth is producing the same weed that the brothers sold. Now the government is selling it, and they're waxing fat. Will the earth respond? Will the people respond? Will the creator respond? How will that play out?
That's a deep question, Professor, because isn't that the story that has always played out? They always use our sciences and then manipulate them. Exactly. They always strong arm us after learning our science. They come in with these humble and meek facades and came to the temples in Kemet and learned our science, and then built their cities on the ley lines of the earth after they learned it from us. They had in Bay do that in Banneker City, So I don't know in terms of the response, but I know that as Dr. King put it so profoundly, the sword, not the sword, but the arc of justice, the arc of the moral universe, always bends towards the righteous. So. I know that it's a limited thing. So what's even more of an important question for me is, will we take the opportunity that's in our hands? Will we do like Adam played?
And it's there in our hands.
And what's in our hands?
We've been given the freedom. We've been given the know-how, the wherewithal, the relationship with Mother Earth. True. In order for Mother Earth to produce what we need. We just need to take advantage of. We need to see the reason for it, and then answer. We need to see the situation has already been set up. The earth has been depleted. We're taking more supplements now than we're doing anything. Whereas the food used to give us everything that we need. Now we got to eat the food, double that, and take the supplement.
Right. And so that's what we're doing. And part of what we're doing with the Level Up Academy, but even in general, is we're replenishing. That's why Dr. Carver's name had to be called. Not just because he's an ancestor. We had a whole legion of ancestors. But because he specifically told us how to nurture the soil, how to replenish the soil, so that what we're getting now, for instance, in conventional agriculture, they talk about 3 things: nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. So if you go out to any fertilizer at any of these stores that I don't want to give no props to, you'll see the 3 numbers on a fertilizer bag, right? 777 or whatever. That's nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Those are just the things that plants need as a plant, as the cabbage, as the creator has given it that DNA coding to be a good cabbage or a good piece of broccoli. But our bodies need there's about 52 amino acids and minerals that our bodies need. And that's what composting does. So we are replenishing the soil. So we're not just putting our signing. That's why there's so many vegans and vegetarians that dying from cancer. That's a whole other conversation. But in terms of the nutritional part of it, it's because we're eating food that's depleted of nutrition, because we're not following the science that we were taught. We're just putting a seed in the ground and say, let me just get a tomato. A tomato is going to be red by nature. Right? Just by nature, the nature that Allah put on it. However, what we have to do to reverse the trauma that the capitalists, the imperialists, have put into the earth is to actually replenish the soil. And then now we have food again that, as you said, like did back in the days, it can do it again. We can do it again. We are doing it. We're doing it right here in East Point, Georgia, and all over the city of Atlanta. There's people who have studied and are doing it. So
right. So are there community gardens right now that you work with, you participate in?
Absolutely. The farm that I primarily run, or part of my main business, is called Shamba. It's a Kiswahili word which means cultivating ground, which is located at 3353 Washington Road in East Point. So that farm there has been farmed for over 10 years now. After my brother Eugene Alala, who actually taught the class tonight, I became the steward of the main steward of that land. The land is owned by an African woman
You
who's
just
now
kind
an
of breaking
ancestor.
up a little. Hopefully you can hear my voice.
I can hear you.
When you say level up, give us an idea. After you finish this point, give us an idea of what's level up.
Okay, well, level up is the opportunity to get on our square. So in a nutshell, level up is a series of classes that teach practical skills as well as champions mindsets.
Right.
So for instance, what are the practical skills? Canning and preserving. We grow all this food, and now we got to find out, how did our ancestors preserve this food? So like the people that is caught up in Texas right now, because of what is going to continue happening all over a collapsing infrastructure.
Well, my man Johnny Taylor's on here, the brother that supports the platform all the time, and he's from Texas. I've been communicating with him for the last 4 or 5 years, and he was just giving me an update on what was going on there. He said another storm is coming, another chill is coming through, so to speak. And man, so are you saying if they knew the art of canning and preserving, they would have weathered this storm?
Of course, I'm saying it would give us more leeway. It would give us more independence, because then we grow the food and then we preserve it through the summer, so then we don't or the winter, so we don't have to depend on the grocery stores. Another thing that, as a direct response to climate change, is alternative building, and that's one of the classes that we're having. There's a brother named Madi Awizo who is a master builder, and he's teaching an all-day work, actually an all-weekend workshop on sandbag houses. The family on your audience can just Google that for the sake of time, and look at how sandbag houses are a really popular trend now as a viable means mitigating the damage that is caused by these increasingly tremendous storms that are hitting our people. Like Maurice Bishop and so many other people used to say, when the America sneezes, the Caribbean catch a cold. Well, when this climate change is hitting, it's hitting us harder.
Yeah.
The climate change is hitting the indigenous people of the earth harder. And this is affecting our structures. So we're learning how to structures. We're learning how to plan a garden for 4 seasons. Whether all you have to grow on is literally a patio, or if you got your 40 acres and a mule, or anything in between. How can we scientifically and easily plan a garden so that our family can eat year round? Right. Then we have a lot of classes as well. Sister Sonny Patterson is teaching a class on Manifestation 101. Eugene taught one class tonight, and I have another one called Grow Where You Are. We have classes on eco hood, swag and style. A sister who actually lived in an eco village is giving us a whole series of lessons, and then the students actually built a model eco village. So they can, after learning the principles of it and talking about, so it can go on and on, but that's what the level up is about.
That's what I did on my born day, man. My wife took me to Tulum, Mexico, and for a week we stayed in the eco village, and we took the showers outside. We had access to the beach. We did the rituals. We kind of went through the whole eco village thing. I mean, we stayed in a in our own little conclave kind of thing, where the people there on that land, that soil, built it. Only thing that was in there, probably was a bed and some place to hang a towel or something. Other than that, we kind of stayed, in the eco village. And the stars, the beautiful, the weather, even the bad weather, we appreciated it when it came through. You understand what I'm saying? Because we learned how to navigate through it. That causes you to learn. There was some insects and some things out there I ain't never seen. So I'm like, okay. So yeah, it's just a different kind of way you have to survive. But I definitely would like to have you back because there's some other things I want to ask and get deeper into the whole idea of the government using the earth now to produce weed and to produce just another way of depleting the soil. And then I want to get into some other things.
Depleting the soil, but also chemical warfare. Because
right, that's what I want. Right, that's what I want to get into. That's what I was about to say. The whole idea of chemical warfare.
Yeah. Real talk. Because the herb. I'm to be honest. I've used herb. I'm a proponent of the herb, but I don't think that smoking it is the optimal way. There are ways that our Creator has given us that can be medicinal. But the bottom line is what these people are doing now is not what we were smoking in high school.
Right.
Some souped up stuff that is damaging people's minds because they're growing it in a laboratory or under demonic conditions. So there is a lot to talk about there.
All right, cool. So do you have a website that people can get in touch with you, or a phone number, or let people know when you meet, give them your
I do. You just froze, so I hope you can hear me.
I can hear you.
Okay, so it's On The Farm, ONDAFARM, onthefarm.com is our website. And specifically for the level up, it's on thefarm.eventbrite.com. There are classes going on through April 4th, some really dynamic classes. And for the classes you've missed, the replay is available, so you can link up with your family. A lot of people under conditioning are scared to go out and all that, and we understand that. We understand the root of where the fear is being programmed, so we ain't judging our people. We just want to make it accessible to everybody. So there's Zoom, there's virtual classes available where you can check in the replay and just get this knowledge, and I really feel in closing that this is really some of the best times in history for us. Period. This is opportunity,
Right.
This is time for opportunity. This time is an organizer's dream, This time is a champion's dream.
Right.
We can take all of this confusion. I mean, when have you ever known a time when a black man can walk anywhere with a mask and not get stopped?
Nah, you're right. Yeah. It's critical. So listen, when you come back, hopefully we could be able to discuss the movie, man, Judas and the Black Messiah.
Ooh. I'd love to hear your take on that.
Okay. Yeah. I'm jotting making some mental notes as I move around and talk to some elders. I had a
Wow, Professor, you're breaking. I can't hear you.
I had a conversation with Pam Africa and Rasa Khan, so I got my take on it. We're gonna talk about it. All right.
That's it. Much love. Thank you for
thanks, man. Yes, sir. Give thanks, good bro. Yes, sir. Peace.
Respect.
That's Ross Kofi on the Farm Pros. All right, on thefarm.com. Make sure y'all check him out. All right. Peace, good bro. All right, fam. We will be right back. All right, right back. It's Professor Griff on Serious Minds are in TV. Peace.
Serious Minds Brain Tonic was created to sharpen the mind by protecting cells and increasing neurotransmitters associated with learning and memory. This is the Serious Minds Brain Tonic. The Resurrection Formula. This male reproductive tonic elixir is the resurrection you've been looking for. It is a stimulating sexual tonic with mild androgen-like effects that is nourishing to the reproductive system. You can order them at www.professorgriff.me and www.seriousmindsinstitute.com. Just call 678-557-2919. Your health is your wealth. Peace.
Kicked Out of Heaven, The Untold History of the White Races from circa 700 to 1700 AD, Volume 1, is the only masterpiece of its kind. Learn everything there is to know about the world today, as there was no Dark Ages between the medieval times and now. Visit kickedOutOfHeaven.com.
Kicked Out of Heaven, The Untold History of the White Races from circa 700 to 1700 AD, Volume 2 is the strongest book on the occult in the 21st century. Learn everything there is to know about magic, witches and werewolves. Just remember, you become what you conquer. Visit www.kickedoutofheaven.com.
Kicked Out of Heaven, The Untold History of the White Races from circa 700 to 1700 AD, Volume 3, explains the alchemical principles of Catholicism. A detailed review will be given on relics, incorruptible saints, and much more. We will also journey the torture chambers of the Spanish Inquisition. Visit kickedoutofheaven.com.
Let's get it.
All right, peace. We are back. That was Ross Kofi. All right, on the farm. All right, fam. I was waiting on my other guest. I'm not sure whether or not if that's going to happen. I'm still waiting, though. I'm just getting in, like literally a few minutes before this broadcast from my trip to Myrtle Beach. Planning to do some things at these outdoor ranges that people are making available to us, and I think we should take advantage of them. We want to offer, trips leaving out of Atlanta for a weekend to go get away, get to the beach, get to some land, put some black boots on the ground, go through some training, go to the range, just make a weekend out of it. I think it'd be a cool thing. I think husband, wives, girlfriends, boyfriends, whatever your significant others, get on the daggone bus. Let's go to Myrtle Beach from the ATL. Break bread. Let's talk. All right. Talisha Nelson, thank you very much for the donation. No, thank you, sis. Really appreciate you. And or you can just go to the super chat right there at the bottom and say, here you go. All right. Thank you, Quan, for reminding me. The next firearms class is Saturday, March 20th at 11 a.m. at Georgia Firing Line. I promise y'all, information. I'm gonna send y'all the link. I will put it up on my website tonight. Go to SeriousMindsInstitute.com. SeriousMindsInstitute.com. All right. Yeah. Anyway. Um, that's the next class. I need that. Well, there's 12 individuals that can sign up for that class. And we do have my friend Guy is willing to sponsor one person to come through the class. I want some brain tonic. You want some brain tonic? Just text me. 678-557-2919. 678-557-2919. I'll get it out to you. All right, you want the Serious Minds brain tonic. I think I got about 20 bottles left. And I got the resurrection formula on deck. All right. All right. It looks like I'll probably have to have that conversation with Brother Man some other time. Serious situation that went down in Nashville, Tennessee, in the Tennessee area. And the brother was supposed to come on and give us an insight on what's going on with that. And that's just a microcosm of what's been going on in the macrocosm, which is the greater thing in America. These things are still happening. Millions of dollars was paid out by the Obama administration for police to wear body cams, and most of the times they don't even turn them on. It seems like the situation has almost gotten worse since this whole idea of justice reform and prison reform and all this other kind of reform. All right. We always said that the prison industrial complex never worked. The system is not broken. The system is doing what the system has been designed to do, family. All right. The system is doing what the system is designed to do. All right. All right. So it's a very real thing. If you want any deeper subjects that a lot of times we just do not discuss on here, go to my website, www.professorgriff.me, all right, and become a member of the Serious Cipher, all right. There we discuss all the other subjects that we do not get a chance to discuss on here, all right. Predictive programming, mind control, conspiracies, all kind of stuff. All right. Things dealing with the shadow self, all kind of stuff. So we don't have those conversations here. We do have them at the Serious Cipher. You can do that by going to www.professorgriff.me and you can kind of sign up there and become a member. To become a member, all it is $10 a month. That's it, fam. $10. I'm not putting people on different levels on what you have to do to become some Patreon, patriot, something, whatever. No. $10 a month, everybody, right on across the board, just to support the channel so we can come on and make it happen. All right. All right, family. I'm going to get in contact with my guests, and more than likely, we're going to have a special session tomorrow for him to come on and talk about these things that we need to talk about in reference to what's going down. I heard that Marky D, I believe, passed. I saw some people putting that up. How do I watch it? Hold on. You can. I'm going to get you, Tanea. Watch it from my Facebook page or my YouTube channel. But since he's not on, we got to reschedule it for another time, probably tomorrow. All right. Yeah, Marky D. I sent a text to someone to confirm that. I can't go on hearsay. A few people put it up, but I got to confirm it. All right. Give me the information about Marky D. Not only that, yeah, your man, Rush Limbaugh, I heard, checked out of here. I will keep my comments to myself. Dr. Khalid El Hakim, what's good, bro? Peace, man. What's good with you, bro? Yeah, I'm going to keep my comment to myself, Khalid, about Rush Limbaugh. But I do want some information about Prince Marky D. Thank you very much, Quan. Really appreciate that. I share that sentiment. All right. Like him that died in the way that they died and that kind of thing. But the disparaging things that he said about black people is critical. Yeah. Really critical. Really, 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 really critical, family. And most cases, I don't even know what to say about the situation. So I guess, like my mama, Miss Griffin, said, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. So I am going to refrain from making any comments about your dearly departed, Mr. Rush L. Limbaugh. Rush L. Rest in piss. Okay. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Why don't we just kind of put some of the comments that Rush Limbaugh made about black people on the screen, and maybe we can kind of, yeah. But let me remind everyone, please, please, please stop through www.professorgriff.me and stop through Serious Minds Institute. All right. I got to take a few minutes, and all this ripping and running and traveling I'm doing, I got to take a few minutes to put the information up on the site. Lamont L. Boogie Love says, R.I.P. Prince Marky D. How did Prince Marky D die? Help me out, fam. Can y'all help me out with that? Prince Marky D. Help me out. Now I just want to know. VA in the building. What's good, man? Thank you very much, Quan. Really appreciate that. www.professorgriff.me. All right. Remember, March 20th. Mark that date on your calendar, family. All right. So listen, I've been putting some notes together dealing with the film Judas and the Black Messiah. I hope everyone has seen the film by now, because we definitely want to have a discussion about it next week. I'd like to kind of go in and piece it apart. All right. Okay. The next firearm class is scheduled for Saturday, March 20th. All right. We need you to register early. I only have 12 slots left. So, Quan, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to have the virtual class the next day. All right. The virtual class is going to be the next day. All right. Okay. All right, family. I'm going to reschedule my guest. We're going to come back on. We're going to talk about the things that he want to talk about, what's going on in Tennessee, and we're going to make it happen. In the meantime, between time, I will see Mr. Dr. Khalid El Akeem tomorrow. We have something to do tomorrow night, so hopefully we'll be able to see you guys. Kaluma 92K. Peace. What's good, black man? We'll be able to see you guys sometime either over the weekend or next week when we broadcast. We're going to be talking about the Black History 101 Mobile Museum all week. All right. All right. This is Professor Griff. All right. I'm weary, punch drunk from traveling today, family. Through the rain. It's been raining all day. I will speak with you guys, hopefully, inshallah, tomorrow. All right. Peace, fam. Serious Minds. For Serious Minds, seriously, and Professor Griff has to go. Peace.